Well, thank you. It's so good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So, hey, everyone in the NFA Moneymaker Lab or wherever you're watching this, probably at YouTube at some point. Today, we're doing a live money coaching session with Fernando, and we're focusing on charging what you're worth. So, the reason I'm doing this is because it's very rare to see coaches doing live coaching, and we often wonder, like, hey, what's that all about, and how can I learn from that? I've noticed that when I've been in groups or seen coaching live, I learn a lot about myself and I have breakthroughs just watching other people. So I wanted to provide this to help not only Fernando, but all of you watching so you can start to get some ideas about how you can charge what you're worth in your business and break through some of those money blocks that you have. So welcome, Fernando. Thanks so much for being here. It's awesome to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. I love that I get to see you too because I haven't gotten to see you for quite a while. So
I
I
know.
want you to first share your business. What is it that you do for your business, and give us a little bit of background about yourself.
All right. So my business is Bridge Crosser Solutions LLC. We've been around for a little bit. We changed our focus to the ministry of mental health. That's what our slogan is. So we focus on ministering mental health to individuals, groups, and so forth. My background is mental health, and my client, ideal client, is one that wants a faith-based approach, faith-based, biblical or faith-based approach with clinical strategies and coaching that's kind of blended in what I do.
Okay.
Um, and so um, it's been a blessing. Things have been happening, but because of this, well, let me tell you about a little bit more. So I started this. I transitioned the focus to mental health and ministry, merging the two, because being a pastor or minister, that's my immediate audience all the time.
Yeah.
And so I kind of said, let me capitalize on what is, because I spent a long time trying to figure out who, and I had this person and that person, and everybody doesn't want a faith-based approach. So I have two audience. One, I contract with other agencies, but my primary focus now is faith-based. So it's kind of helped me with my clients, but also being in this particular environment, a lot of it is your heart led, heart tugging on your heart because I'm in human services. So,
Yeah.
so it's like, so it's this battle with, you know, love, touchy feely, a person's need. And so
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm exchanging instead of money. Maybe sometimes, hey, I got tickets to the game or something,
Yeah. So
so
you're bartering your services a lot.
bartering at times now.
Okay.
And at times, not like I used to, but I could tell that sometimes it's still a struggle. But
Yeah.
it just so now I want to just say, look, this is what I'm worth, and I have clients now. I do my videos.
Nice.
I got my podcast, Let's Cross Together podcast, and I've got a client just recently just from that. And then there's a set
Awesome.
price for one-on-one coaching. I do have my
Okay.
set prices, but I think the struggle is still there, even though I made a nice amount of money in September, had 3 or 4 clients meeting about an hour, but I still could feel a little uncomfortable because I'm watching their need versus what I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that,
Okay.
and that,
We're gonna dive into all that. Tell me at first, what's your podcast name so everyone
let's
can.
cross, let's cross together.
Let's cross
So
together. Oh, cool. Okay.
and
And
so
so, and do you do interviews or solo cast?
I do interviews,
Okay.
solo. I have other mental health professionals, those that are also in the field dealing with trauma, a lot of different issues from a faith-based perspective. Um,
Okay.
I came up with Let's Cross Together because as bridge crossers, people are afraid to cross. So hey, let's cross together. So I
Okay. And will
derived.
you clarify for us where are they crossing? Where's the from and where's the to that they're using the bridge to cross?
Well, the bridge is at that place that's causing you to be stuck. Like bridges have 2 points: the beginning and and the ending. So our tagline also is bridges were created to be crossed, not simply admired. Let's cross together. So
Okay.
bridges represents a crossing point, but many are at the beginning. And the beginning is always where maybe a trauma happened, maybe a situation that you can't cross. But so we're there as a service to help you cross this bridge. So the bridge, the beginning
Okay.
is where you're stuck, but you know you need to get to the other side. So through our coaching and pastoral counseling, we help people cross.
Okay. Okay. So before we dig into the problems and the struggles you're having, or I want us to pick really one that we're going to hyper focus on. Why did you start this business? I mean, you're a pastor, you have a clinical background and now coaching. Like clearly you have a huge heart for mental health and mental, I would imagine people that are struggling with mental health. So what is that for you? How did you come into this?
Well, I, just from the trauma in my life, um, I think it started from growing up, always having a heart for people that struggle. Like I always had a compassion because I think I was that person that was challenged with low self-esteem. I stuttered. I overcame that. I'm a public speaker, but I kind of identify from an empathetic standpoint. People have those same general struggles that stop them from really overcoming in their lives. So when I talk about mental health, it's not necessarily mental illness per se. Mental health involves, overall mental health wellness and
Yeah.
really dismantling those barriers that stop you from achieving, whether it's fear, whether it's trauma, whether it's anxiety, whether it's something that happened in your past, just putting a plan together to really help you cross that thing. So my heart goes out to people because everybody has a purpose and a destiny, but everyone doesn't fulfill it. And usually it's because they don't have support.
Okay. Do you feel like you're fulfilling your destiny?
Yeah, I definitely do. I love it. I
Okay.
love it. I get a chance to listen, get a chance to
Okay.
work together with people. It's not just advice, but hearing, listening, and working together with people what they already have on the inside. They just need to identify the potential or the struggle, and then let's provide some solutions together to get there, to cross the bridge.
Okay. And what's your biggest vision of your business and of helping people through bridge crossers?
Well, I guess overall vision is to create, which we have one now. We have about 50 something people in this group, Bridge Crossers Connect groups, where they are groups specifically for areas of people's lives. So if you need anxiety, or you need help overcoming anxiety, we have a group for that. So just creating groups where people can go that that match where they are and what they need and kind of help them grow. So that's kind of like the overall, I think, just to create a bigger part of it, but like more
Okay.
spread out. Like, we have a group for OCD, we have a group for trauma. Just kind of have these groups and train individuals in those groups to help people.
Okay. And so for that, is that a church-based group or is that through your business, through your company?
That's through the business
Okay. And
because,
are you not charging anything for that or you are charging something for that?
well, I did it as a pilot at first. Now it's still in the pilot phase, and then I have people who have invited people to it. So that's kind of like where I am. How to transition, like the transitioning pieces now. Okay, I got like 50 something people in this group. What do I need to do now?
Wait. So you have 50 people in a group as a pilot?
Just like it started off with 8 people as, hey, we're coming together and talk. Then
Okay.
people started getting encouraged by it. They started inviting people, and now I want to say, okay, this is a lot here. And so the
Yeah.
group
Yeah.
is the group is it's a private group where they come in. It's like a safe place where they come in. We
Okay.
talk
So
about things.
what I want to know, like what is the heart of those groups and why do you care so much about creating them? Because clearly you have a lot of magnetism around attracting a large audience to you because 50-person group is huge.
It
And
is.
so like what's the heart there? Like what do you care about most in the transformation that people have in those groups?
Is that what I care the most, that they know there's a safe place to really Well, the experience transformation, like it's, transformation sometimes starts. You got to start it sometime in a safe place, because
Okay. Did
that's where.
you when you were going through your transformations, because you said you had trauma in your history, when you were going through your transformations, were you a part of a group, or did you see someone that mentored you, or a coach or a counselor? Like tell me what's there for you.
Yeah, I went through a hardcore divorce, and it was brutal mentally. It was brutal, and um, I had a good support group, and I had a safe place with maybe some people that, like, maybe a few people that made me feel okay to struggle, and
Okay.
and being vulnerable and transparent. And it was through that I was able to, say, you know what, I can walk through this.
Okay.
So
Okay, I want you for a second. Like, I want us to go to the heart of how much would you pay for that service, for that support group? Like, what has that been worth to you? Let's list some of the benefits. Like, how has that served you in your lifetime since that you were a member of that support group? Like, tell me all the benefits you've experienced since then.
emotionally, uh, built my esteem. It
Okay.
was it was an emotional rest. It wasn't an emotional rescue as well.
Yeah.
Um, um,
Yeah.
it was a time to.
And I want to dig here because I saw that one of your course names is ER, emotional rescue.
Yeah.
Do you need to be rescued?
You mean right now or just in general?
Have you ever needed to be
Oh,
rescued?
of course. And so
Who rescued you? It was someone else or yourself?
it's self-help, others help. It's a collaborative effort of me, determination, reading. Now, let me say this: when I was going through my worst time of my life, I got 2 degrees. So I got my undergrad in psychology, and I got my master's in counseling at the worst time of my life. So
Yeah. And
I
would you
was in
say that that support group helped you do that? Like they
a,
were there to support you through all
yeah,
that?
and
Okay, so they
my
led
degrees were
you
healing.
they led you to your inspired path.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that worth in terms of transformation for you? Like I know you're happily married now, you have a business, you love what you're doing, you've inspired, you're a speaker, you have a podcast, you've gotten 2 degrees now. What is that worth to you?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like,
That's a hard.
let's even just look at your salary since then. Like you've got and you don't have to give specific amounts, but you've got a monthly salary. You were able to transform into the man who can attract a wife that you love and a family. You have a family. You have a job you have a job. You have a side business, right? You have
Yeah.
both. Okay. Like you look at all of the support that gave you to turn in and transform into the man that you are right now, right?
Right.
Like, what is that worth? I want you to start switching your mindset from I've
Okay.
got to be a support person who rescues people and gives it away for free to like, what is the value of transformation?
Yeah. And see, that's where I can feel the resistance, even the question. Like, it's a struggle. I feel it.
Yeah.
Like, it's my mind
Yeah.
gets a blank. Right at that point, it's like
Right.
something starts.
Here's why. You think you should be rescuing people. And when you rescue someone, you give things away for free. People need to rescue themselves, right? They rescue themselves through resources and access to information and access to mentors. But when you rescue someone, you create and enable more desperation in them because they
Okay.
need to rescue themselves,
Okay.
right? How does that? I mean, and something I want you to notice is that when you went to that support group, who went to the support group? How'd you get there? You made a decision to get help, right?
I did. I did. I did.
And
And
and would you pay for it? Would you pay for that kind of help?
when I look back, it's worth thousands of dollars.
Right? Maybe
I look
millions.
because what I bought as a burden to them. I mean, what I carried was so heavy. I was devastated. So it's worth. I can't really put a price tag on it, but
Right.
it's worth.
It's
It's worth it.
priceless.
It's like, man, I can't even repay. I say thank you, but it's really not enough of the pain that I felt and then the rescuing that took place. It's
Right.
I
Right.
it's, and then you
And
said something to me. Can I share what you said to me?
yeah, yeah.
That I was still battling it but didn't know it. And what you said to me was priceless. You said, "Do you feel like a fraud?" And that one statement was like the next level. Like I couldn't explain what I was. It wasn't shame and it wasn't guilt. It's just a missing something. Then when you asked me that, it broke. It's like I was able, like, wow, like fraud is different from shame and guilt. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah.
And so that broke. So that was priceless. So it's like, wow, these priceless moments. So I know I'm worth that, but the struggle is compassion and love and all that starts
Well,
getting.
can you be a compassionate business owner? Is it possible to be a compassionate business owner?
I can, but I have to walk through it
What do
because
you
I have
say
a set
more?
price now. I have a set price that I get paid. I got a client coming up Monday. I get paid, but I know I need to be on a bigger situation, and that's what the struggle is.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Until you switch your mindset to believing in yourself and knowing you're not a fraud and you go like, I'm a powerful man with a lot of skills, a huge heart, resources, I can help you. You've got to start shifting your brain from
Okay.
I give this away for free to, because that's enabling people. When you rescue people from their desperation, they just create more desperation because they haven't bought in completely because they're not willing to pay for it. Right.
Right.
And I'm not saying when you did yours, when you go to a support group, that's an awesome service. And it's a nonprofit potentially or all volunteer based. Unless you decide you want your business to be a nonprofit or you want your business to be volunteer based, you're
Yeah.
going to need to shift into going, I'm not going to enable people being victims, because the rescue mentality is that you're a victim. I'm a victim. I need someone else to help me because the answer lies outside of me. I'm not able to empower myself to take action in a direction because I got to be rescued because I'm a victim. Do you see how that's tied?
Okay.
Do you see how that's tied?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
So
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 okay.
you could, I was looking at your application for this session, and when I was reading about it, you said tell me about your ER group. I can't remember what you call it, a program for the
Program.
emotion. Is it for emotional rescuing?
Right, but it's really not necessarily me. It's them, like they experiencing emotional rescue, and I have a whole system of things that we go over trauma. We just breaking the
Yeah,
cycles of trauma. So we have a program that gets to a destination of to like wow, like so
yeah,
it's a process. So I was using my process,
yeah.
and
So
there's a
what if,
price attached.
Fernando,
Uh-huh.
what if you change the name? Names are really powerful. Words are incredibly powerful. If I went out there and I said to people, I'm going to rescue you, instantly they are disempowered, right?
Okay, I see
Because
it. I see
they're
that.
looking at me as the answer instead of themselves as the answer. And they can come to you for resources, but they are going to need to rescue themselves. Remember, NFA mindset is radical responsibility, right? You were radically
Okay.
responsible. You picked yourself up off the ground after a hard divorce and decided to plug into a support group. And then you went and got 2 degrees and you've started a business and you're doing all these things. The people that you coach, you need to let them rescue themselves. My brain goes straight to emotional, either responsivity or something. Like, you can still do the ER, but do it as an empowering word, which has a mindset shift for you, because right now you're stuck in the paradigm of thinking that you're rescuing people, which automatically has you feeling guilty about charging money. Because if people need to be rescued, you need to be the savior, which means you need to pull them out of their poverty consciousness and their victim
I got you.
mindedness.
I hear you. I hear you. That makes a lot of sense. And okay, you're right. Yeah.
So I love the concept ER. Like, I think that's cool. People, it's a good branding trigger. And
Yep.
you could do it as something that's empowering. So it could be like empowering resourcefulness, right? Like ER, empowering resourcefulness, or emotional resourcefulness, or emotional responsivity. So the response, the word responsive has to do with responsibility, which is you're able to respond versus needing to be rescued, right?
Okay.
And that alone in your mind needs to switch to I'm empowering people, I'm not saving people. Can you feel the difference between that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's why you're
Yeah.
stuck feeling guilty about charging, because you go like, oh my God, it's my job. Especially, I know I see this a lot with people who like come from an AA background, because AA is all volunteer based, right? And preachers, it's like, unless you're getting paid through communion and things like that at church, or what's it called, contribution at church, but it's not like you're not charging people when they come to you as a pastoral counselor. It's all free work. And so you've got to start shifting your mindset from I give away free work because I'm rescuing people because it's my Christ like, or I don't know what your religious background is. It's your what would you call it?
Religious duty or
Okay, religious
what?
duty. Like in my
What?
history, because I was raised fundamentalist Christian, like it was like it's Christ like to save
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
right? And the thing
Yeah.
is, saving. I want you to know that saving people is empowering people. You've got to
Okay.
empower yourself first. You're the model. Right now, what
Okay.
you're projecting to them is that they're victims, because you're being victim minded and thinking that they can't rescue themselves. So you're not willing to charge what you're worth because, oh no, they're stuck, they're in the dirt, they're broken down, and I must try to help them. And the key word there, try, because you can't help anyone who's not willing to rescue themselves.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
How does it feel for you to have the switch from like emotional it was emotional rescuing to like empowered resourcefulness, or emotional resourcefulness, or what's a word, is there any word that comes to mind for you?
Maybe reset, something that deals with. I just
Oh,
like.
I like that.
I like the term the ER because it's catchy. It's like welcome
Yeah,
to
I
the
like it too.
ER.
Yeah, so the
We're
ER could be emotional reset. That's brilliant. I like that a lot.
I think because that's what the content of emotional rescue is. Words like resetting,
Yeah.
uh, a mind for so that produces different behavior. I got verbiage that kind of reset is really probably the better word. I think
I like
reset,
that word a lot. Yeah. And
emotional
because
reset.
it's also it's a verb, right? Like they're going to take action to reset, right? And you're not and actually you're going to shift this model from rescue. Like that's the victim mindedness. So you're going to help people shift and cross the bridge from victim mindedness. They're resetting as they cross the bridge into now they're resourceful, they're responsive instead of reactive, they're empowered, they're alive, they can do it. And then you can see how you can charge for that, because you're completely shifting your paradigm of belief around like these people need my help and they can't do it for themselves. Instead, you're going, I'm a teacher, I'm a leader, I'm a coach, I'm a powerful person who has resources for you. I'm going to show you how to get across the bridge, and you're going to walk that bridge because you're a powerhouse just like me. And you're going to model it, which when you charge what you're worth, you model that you believe in yourself, that you value yourself. And when people pay you for your services, they model that they're ready, they're willing, they're decisive, they're taking action, they have buy-in. You actually disable people and handicap them when you give away free services. And when I'm talking, like right now, you're getting a free session, but this is a win-win exchange. For me, I go, thank you for being willing to come on live and be vulnerable and share what struggles you have in your business, and people get to see, and that helps attract people my way. So it's a win-win exchange,
Oh,
right?
we're
It's
live.
not, yes. Yes, you know that. Did you not know that?
No, I'm kidding, but you're right though. No, no,
That'd be
you're
funny.
right about what you said. No, but no, I'm just being funny. But
Does that make sense though? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, tell me what's happening for you and how that feels.
that makes perfect sense. That makes resetting. It does shift. It's a word for them, not for me.
Yes. Yes. And
Rescue
I want
probably
I
was
want you to drop the rescue word. Like, no, you don't need to be rescued. You are
reset.
Yeah, right. Everyone needs a reset. Everyone needs a reset almost every day. Habit formation is about resetting, right?
Yeah.
I never wake up in the morning and feel like it's the exact opposite. When I was laying on the floor crying and I was like, oh my God, I'm the common denominator in this situation. I got to figure out what to do differently. It was the revelation that no one's coming to rescue me. I'm the only person who can do that. I've got to be radically responsible to change my life. And there's teachers and leaders and mentors and coaches who can help me do that. And it's dishonoring to them to not pay them for their time, their life resources, their life energy, right? So you're devaluing yourself and your gifts in the world.
Yeah.
I want you to
That's true.
believe in yourself. Like tap into your heart and feel how it feels. Like, what can you think of a transformation you've helped someone experience where it's like you cried and you were like, oh my God, this is amazing to watch before my eyes?
Yeah, I think I have a ton of stories.
I know
And,
you
and
do
let me
because you're an inspirational powerhouse.
so let me share this with you. Maybe this is where the struggle is. For so many
Yep.
years, I helped people and they got breakthroughs, and then I had to shift from that to now business.
Yep.
And the same people were, so I had to cut people off. I'm starting to charge them. So it became that. Like, so I've been doing it for 30 years.
Yep.
and and
Yep.
so I'm resetting myself through this type of thing. I gotta break residues.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to let
And
go of your it's volunteer mentality, right? Like here's the thing, you've got to have equivalent exchange. So there's a spectrum of altruism and narcissism, and most people have this really negative feeling about narcissism. They're like, "Oh, narcissists are jerks." We all have altruistic and narcissistic sides. The problem is right now what you're getting out of it is feeling like a savior for free. That's your narcissistic part. The altruism is that you're over serving, so you're undervaluing yourself and you're over delivering and undercharging. So we need to just switch it to going like, the narcissistic part is the win-win exchange. You give value for payment, right?
yeah, yeah,
And there's
that's yeah,
nothing wrong with that. You can't feed your family and feed yourself and thrive if you keep giving away your power for free, right?
yeah.
Do you believe in yourself?
I don't have to take this. No, of course. No, of,
Do you believe in
of
yourself enough to charge for what you're worth?
I do, because I made good money in the last few months, but I'm ready. I know it's more, and I'm still. It's that I got to get to that identify. Yeah, I need to identify. Like, yeah, I do. Let me say yes, I do. You're helping me just chisel at that part, just chisel at some stuff. So I got to say I do, with a struggle for some whatever reason. It's probably what you just said. So I have to admit that
Okay, so let's articulate the
on air.
problem. What is the specific struggle? Let's get really clear about it. What's the struggle that you would say out loud? What's the struggle? Let's say it in one sentence so you can hear yourself say it, and I can help you deconstruct it and have a mental shift around it.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Are you scared that you will lose your following if you charge money?
That could be, it could be it's a fear of something, but I don't. But
Yeah.
that could
Okay.
be
I mean, I'll
fear of
tell you what you're
something.
afraid of. When I asked if you believe in yourself, I want to see what you said, because you don't believe in yourself. Because someone who believes in themselves charges money. I would
Okay,
never work with someone on a consistent basis for free. No way. In fact,
okay,
I charge more and more and more and more over time because I get better and better at what I do. Right.
right.
And it's because I value myself and I believe in myself and I know I can help people have transformations. And so I go, yeah, what is your transformation worth? When I talk to people and they want to work with me, what's your transformation worth? What's your freedom worth? What is feeling good worth? What's mental health worth? It's priceless, like we said. If you feel like shit in your brain, everything sucks. If you
And I
don't know
don't
how to
feel like
handle your
that.
emotions, everything sucks.
Yeah. So I definitely don't feel like that. Not at all.
Like
But
what?
the S word.
Okay, you don't feel, well, I'm not saying you, I'm saying your clients.
Yeah. So
They feel bad in their mind, right? Like they feel they're coming to you because they have a problem.
yeah.
So you're there to help them, and that's very valuable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So
So the guilt, I see that you feel guilty charging money because you've done it for free in the past.
yeah, when I was just a pastor, now I'm a pastoral. Yeah, I did. So just
Yeah.
making that transition to businessman.
Yeah.
And like I said, last month I had 3 clients, and they paid me weekly. I got paid, what I
Yeah.
think I'm worth, what it's worth. But I know there's more. There's a greater part. So just trying to see what worth looks like. Just like, what's the price of worth
Yeah.
for what
Well,
I'm
let,
trying.
let me let me ask you this. When you work with the clients who are paying versus the clients who are not, which client are you more powerful with? And do you have more powerful transformations with?
I I think. Well, what's funny you asked that, because, and I'm gonna be honest on air, I recently became drained working with the non-paying ones.
Of course you did, because what
I
happens
became,
when
and I
you,
never,
yeah,
yeah. So
like,
it's
of
like, yo, I
course you
can't.
do, because you're devaluing yourself, and time is the most
Yeah.
precious gift we have, right?
Yeah.
So here's what will happen. You don't ask people to pay you, or you do it for free, or you don't charge enough. And what happens is you show up for the meeting and you're resentful. And you're like, I'm pissed that I'm doing this. You're taking my time. What
Yeah.
am I getting in exchange for it? And then they actually lose because you're not showing up powerfully.
That's true.
So
I like that. You're
so
right.
you're doing a disservice to both of you. And how
You're
are
right.
they ever going to learn how to stand up powerfully for themselves when you're not modeling it?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And all this is on air.
Yes, and you're amazing for doing this, because a lot of people struggle with this. So you're not alone. I promise you, when people watch this, they will be like, oh my God, I feel that. I do know it. I've done it. You're not alone. And you don't have to sit on that side of the fence anymore and go like, I give away my services for free and I'm pissed that I'm doing it and I feel resentful, but I keep doing it because I'm not sure how to stop.
Right. So, okay. So I'm probably going to meet with you more after this, for this transitional period.
Yeah.
Because you've helped me in the past, and I know who you are. Just to, if I'm not necessarily savvy business wise. That's not my background, so I need to understand what makes sense.
Okay.
So for my
First,
packet, I need to understand, like,
yeah. Yeah.
so I can just say this is what it is.
First, I want you to know that you can decide at any moment that you're a savvy business person. So say that out loud. Like, I'm a business owner and I'm savvy. Like, say it out loud.
I'm a business owner and I'm savvy.
Yeah,
I'm a
right? Like,
business owner and I'm savvy. That's good. You're right.
right?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I feel that.
Yeah, it's a choice.
That's
You
resetting.
get
That's a reset right there.
exactly. So I want you. This is really fun. So I want you to take what's your dominant hand, left or right?
Depends on
Like,
who's attacking me.
do you write with
So
your right hand?
right hand.
Okay, so take your left hand and put it in the center of your chest, like this. Okay, and I want you to say that. I'm going to time you. You're going to say it for 30 seconds. I'm a savvy business owner. Whatever resonates with you. And you're going to say it for 30 seconds. I'll tell you when to stop. Just say it out loud repeatedly.
I'm a savvy business owner. I am 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 a savvy business owner.
Boom. Okay. How do you feel now?
Yo, that's deep.
Yeah.
No,
It's called
you can feel
very cool.
the shift.
Right? And here's the thing. You created that out of I call it mindset switching. And what we just did was energy editing. And you go, I can choose at any moment to be who I want. So you used to be, up until now, a pastor who gave away free counseling, right? Today, from this day forward, you are a savvy, badass business owner who charges what they're worth and has people have incredible transformation because they're willing to 100% buy in to their transformation and invest in you because you're the teacher and leader and coach that they need right now in their life because they believe in you, because you believe in yourself.
All right. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want you to use that mantra every day from here on out. Anytime you think I'm going to give away my services for free, go like, would a savvy business owner do this? No.
Right.
If they did, they'd have a very specific reason why they were giving it away for free. And I want you to get out of the habit of giving things away for free. Like, you're only allowed to charge from here on out. And I don't even want you to do sliding scale for a while because you need to get out of the habit of undercharging. I want you to create packages. I want you to stop the dollar per hour mindset where you go, you come to me for a few sessions. I want you to sell a transformation. And the transformation you're selling is the ER package, the ER program, where you are helping people emotionally reset so they can cross the bridge to the life that they freaking dream of. Right? And so packages make things so much easier because you don't have to keep finding people.
Right now. That's exactly where I am.
Good. Yeah. So we want you to go like, okay, you work with me for a minimum of 12 weeks, and here's the cost for this transformation. It's an investment in you. It's an investment in your future. It's an investment in your wealth. It's an investment in your family. It's an investment in your health. It's an investment in your spirituality. And it is priceless. It's worth millions of dollars, but I'm only going to charge you $5,000 for the 12 sessions or whatever it is that you decide. And I want you to stretch yourself to much more than you've been charging. And then you're going to just keep stretching it. Like, you can't, you can't, it's hard for people to go from like, I've not been charging at all to I'm going to charge a whole bunch of money. You got to stair step it up into a stretch zone and then just keep upping it every quarter or every 5 clients or something like that, where you go, okay, now I've got these transformations. And what's going to happen when you do that is you're going to start to develop your confidence over time, and you'll have even more belief in yourself. You'll have even more stories of transformation. You'll have even more people paying you more money. And you'll be like, oh my God, this is how it's done. And I am awesome at what I do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's, before we wrap up, I want you to come up with the package so that you can walk away with a really powerful deliverable and know what you're going to do next.
Come up with the packet?
Yeah. So right now are you doing mostly like one-on-one sessions?
I'm doing one-on-ones, like, yes, but I want more group, and I want package. Because group is easier. So I'm trying to sell a group, and then I need to really define emotional reset.
Yeah.
So that is the 6-week or 6-month package. So and that's what I've been working on. And I'm using my personal process, and part of it is when you told, you're not a fraud. I've been sharing what you've shared with me, and so many people have been just like, wow, that's exactly what I feel like. Who've been through divorce, who've been trying, that feeling, that feel like who are you? You can't. So I want to put that. I want to articulate that into emotional reset.
I love this. What you could do is the link, because that had such an impact on you, and so many other people feel that way. Part of the emotional reset is going from feeling like a fraud to feeling authentic and powerful, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's part of, like, if in my mind, what I see is like the bridge crossers. It's like on one side of the bridge, you define what all of those victim mindedness stuck parts are. And then the bridge they're crossing is to all these other parts where they are on that side of going like, ooh, here's the reset. So as they're walking across the bridge over that period of time that you choose, it's maybe an 8-week program. They're walking across the bridge, they're resetting, and you give them reset tools, right? So here's reset tool 1, stop feeling like a fraud. Reset tool 2, empower your mindset. Reset tool 3, forgive yourself. What, for you, I don't know your exact model, but that's how I would do it, something along those lines. And then you start with some clients and you charge a good amount because you're not thinking dollar per hour, you're thinking price for transformation and results.
That's good. That's good. That just helped me right there. I think, yeah, I couldn't process that right, but you just articulated it. The price of transformation, not the hourly.
Yes. Yeah. So you got to drop that mindset, because when you're thinking hourly, you're thinking like a poor person, right? We look at the wealthiest people in the world. They don't think about the price per hour. The most impactful, resourceful people on the planet, they price for results, right? And so you're going to get people incredible results.
Amen.
And then you're asking them, what is that transformation worth? And that's what I'm working with you on. And you don't even think, because the thing that's happening is because you're thinking it in an hourly rate, they're thinking of it in an hourly rate. And you got to drop that thinking. That's not what they're paying for. They're paying for a life of tools that forever change them, where they're not stuck anymore on that side of the bridge where they need to be rescued. They're victim minded. They're stuck. They can't have emotional responsivity. They feel alone and like frauds, right? When they cross the bridge and do work with you, they get to feel empowered. They get to feel resourceful. They get to feel that sense of, I am awesome and amazing, and I now value myself, right? So that's the transformation that you are selling. And it's because you care and you are a savvy business owner.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Awesome. Okay.
So I'm gonna apply for another free one.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to reach out to you. November 1st, I'm launching a Charge What You're Worth program. So, and I'm going to walk, it's going to be the very first crew of people that goes through. So if you want to be in there, it's going to be the beta group, and I'm super excited about it. So it's going to be my signature program from here on out. And so you'll be getting an email to see if you want to join. I love your energy and your spirit, and I want you to succeed, and I want you to be able to, I mean, I look at financial freedom. I look at making money in your business and making money doing what you love as like freedom. Like, I feel like I play every day. Like right now I'm playing with you, I love what I do.
I love this.
Yeah. And I get paid a lot of money to help people transform, and rightfully so, because I bring all of the gifts, resources, experience, all the things to the table, and then they get to have the same thing for themselves, because they value themselves when they're done working with me. And valuing yourself it really is priceless. It's life-changing to have value for yourself, charge what you're worth, and not work so much and feel super burnt out, and then feel resentful of the people you're working with and not get them transformations.
Yes, that's true. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So our work is done here today.
Wow.
Or I could say our play is done here today.
That's right. So could I possibly get a copy of the recording of this so I can rehearse it?
Definitely. I'll you're in the lab, right? The NFA Moneymaker lab?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think you are, but if you're not, that's okay. It will be on YouTube, and I'll send you a link to the YouTube video.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So you can.
But let me say that I really appreciate you, and I want others that's on here. I know they probably have the same issues, but you are very insightful, amazing woman that, and I always check out your podcast when I'm on the go, but want others to know you are really an amazing woman, and your transparency and your vulnerability and sharing your life is really really what drew me to you, that your authenticity and unashamedly about whatever, like, this is what it is, and this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. Like, you have all three elements coming on. Like, well, this is where I was, this is where I am, and this is where you hear all of that, from food stamps to six figures at the same, you hear that all the time.
Yeah. So, thank you. And I want you to know, you spot it, you got it. Like, you see those things in me because you're that guy too. You're the same person as me. You've got the same power to bring transformation to the world.
Yeah.
You have a huge heart, a brilliant mind, and you can transform the world and get paid well to do it, because you you can. It's just a mindset switch for you.
Mindset. Yes, that's good. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's be savvy business owners together.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're so welcome. Okay, I'm going to end our live. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Of course, if you have questions in the comments, if you're watching this later, go ahead and leave questions. And then if you want to apply for a free session with me, you've got to apply to win. And here's the website right here. It's free NFA money coaching session.com. Free NFA free money coaching session.com. And you can apply to win, and we can do a lifetime video and help you get unstuck in your business and charge what you're worth. Until next time, NFA money making high fives. Thank you, Fernando. You can stay on, Fernando. I'm just going to end the live.